शिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तिरेकाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यानस्मद्गुरुं सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि यत्साक्षात् सच्चिदानन्दं प्रत्यगद्वयमक्रियं तन्नमामि योगिगम्यं परम् हानिलाग्नित्यरुत्पन्नं सत्यमेव उद्गतं आन्तच्छिदे नमस्तस्मै हरये विद्युसाक्षिणे आत्मा असंबन्धित्वेपि 94th verse. 94th verse said, Yadyad Visheshanam Drishtam Natmanastadanamayat Khasya Kumbhavat Tasmad Atmasya Nirvisheshana. Just like Akasha cannot have any Visheshana, all Visheshanas belong to Kumbha, Gata. Ghatakasha also is not accurate, Satyatvena. There is no Visheshana possible to Akasha, but still we use the Upadhi and say Ghatakasha, Matakasha, ityadi. However, all Visheshanas belong to Ghata, Matha, ityadi. So similarly, Khasya Kumbhadivat, similarly is the case of Atma. Atma is also Nirvisheshana. Why? What is the Hetu? Yadyad Visheshanam Drishtam Na Atmanastad Ananvayat. Because there is no Anvaya of any of that in the, or rather not in the, across avasthas. So there is absolutely nothing that goes from the Visheshya, Visheshana ityadi to the to basically anything. In the across avasthas, they do not survive. Visheshanas do not survive across across avasthas, across Jagrat Swapna, Shushupti avastha, or when you are looking at kosha also, the kosha Visheshanas do not continue. They stay with that particular kosha. For example, Stula Sharira has some dharma. Let's say tall, short, Brahmanatva ityadi, fair, dark. All of these are only Stula Shariras, Visheshanas. They cannot continue to even Pranamaya Kosha. Annamaya Kosha, Visheshanas do not continue to Pranamaya Kosha also. So Pranamaya is not tall or short. It is not Brahmana or Kshatriya ityadi. It is not dark or fair. Similarly, Prana has some of its own Visheshanas. Dirgha Prana, Alpa Prana. Just we have in Aksharas. In Aksharas, you have to use Alpa Prana, the Tha, the Dha. So Alpa Prana. Similarly, our Pranamaya Kosha has all these Visheshanas. Wheezing, unable to breathe, very easy to breathe. All of these, what you can know from spirometry, that is your Pranamaya Kosha. Digestion, etc. All the Pancha Prana. Similarly, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, ityadi. We know all this. So what is the idea? The idea is that the Visheshanas do not continue. Visheshanas stay with the Visheshya. Whereas Satta, Spurti of Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya, all of this continues, and that is why the Atma Swarupa is there across koshas, across avasthas, across shariras, shariratreya also. Thereby, there is absolutely no way that the sorry, where did my document go? Huh? So there is no way that there is an anvaya of the visheshanas, and therefore there is no way that they are atma's visheshana. They are the visheshana of the tattad vishesha. Kumbhadivat. This is what we have seen in the 94th verse. Sorry, I got a little distracted. I got a pop-up and I got a little distracted. Okay, so here, further in the 95th verse introduction, Atma asambanditve api, Atma asambanditve api, visheshananam anyamatatvena. Here there is a patabheda that is better. There is anyam anyatvena. Chandrika nusari bhavet. Atra patha. So here patha should be what? Not anyamatatvena. Anyam anyatvena. Anyam anyatvena. Swarupena sadbhava angīkrita iti shanka vyavrityartham aha ekasyatmana iti. So what is being said here? The Atma does not have any Visheshana Sambandha. Ananvaya, Tadananvaya. That is your Hetu. Tadananvayat. Tasya Ananvayat. That is your Hetu. So Purva Pakshi says Visheshana, Visheshya have Sambandha, and you are saying Atma cannot have any Visheshana. It is Nirvisheshana. It cannot have any Sambandha therefore. So he says Atma Sambanditve api Visheshananam anyam anyatvena sarupena sadbhava angīkritaha. So Visheshana is for Visheshya, Kumbha, in their example Kumbha. So Kumbhadi have Visheshana, Kumbha becomes Vishishya, Kumbhadi. So Visheshana Visheshya Sambandha is there, that Visheshana as well as Visheshya is Anatma. It is separate from Atma, but they do exist. They do exist. They have Satta. So Visheshananam anyam anyatvena. Swarupena. So Visheshana separate from that is Atma. Then anyatvena swarupena sadbhava angīkrita. Kesham Visheshanana. Visheshana is seen as existent, as separate from Visheshya. Right? So Visheshanas have their own Satta separate from Visheshya also. And Visheshya and Visheshana both are separate from Atma. So anyway, have you not accepted the existence of Visheshana, Visheshana here, but you can take Visheshya also separate from Atma. In the Udaharana, Akasha may not have Visheshana alright, but Kumbha has Visheshana. Now these Visheshanas, Kumbha has Visheshanas, those dharmas are true. They are Sat, they are real, they are truly existent, aren't they? This is the question. Iti Shanka Vyavrityartham aha. Thereby what? The idea is you have been trying to say that your Siddhanta, Vedanta is different from Sankhya. Sankhya also talk about Asanga Atma, but they say Pradhanadi, Pradhan, Mahat, Ahankara, Ityadi, all the Pancha Mahabhutas and up to the end product, Bhuta Bhautika. Karya is real. So is Atma. So Atma and Prapancha both are real. There is Dvaita. How do you call yourself as Advaitis when you say Visheshanas apply to not to Atma but to Ghatapatadi Prapancha, and then you say you are Ekameva Advitiya Brahmavadi. How so? Because you have accepted the Visheshanas, right? Visheshanas do not apply to Atma, they apply to Ghatapatadi, Ahankaradi Prapancha. Then Purva Pakshi says that means Dvaita. When you say Visheshanas do not apply to Atma, that means Visheshanas are there. You accepted Sadbhava Angīkrita iti Shanka Vyavrityartham aha. This is what Sankhyas also say. you are also Dvaitis only. Siddhanti has said that all these Ahankaradi Prapancha is Mithya. But still, just like the we say the Stula Sharira, Annamaya Kosha, which is thick skinned. So no insult, no insult applies to this person. You say anything. Nirlajjam, Sada Sukhi. Nirlajja, Sada Sukhi. Something, childhood we had heard. But it's Napunsaka, Samanya Napunsaka. But thick-headed also, we say thick-headed means not, thick-headed in this is not Annamaya Kosha, that is Buddhi Dharma, Vijnanamaya Kosha. Manomaya Vijnana Kosha is thick. So one time you say, does not understand, 10 times you say, does not understand. Across 194 shlokas you explain, does not understand, or does not want to understand. So what do? So you have to repeat. Thereby, ekasya atmana iti. Ekasya atmana, so there may be Patha Veda here. Iti, there is second tippana there. Pathoyam mudrita pustake mule nasti. So in mula there is atascha atmana. There is no ekasya atmana. In mula there is atascha atmana. So let's look at the tippana. What does it say? And then so atascha atmana iti vartate. Chandrikayam avataranam etat shlokasya vartate. So it's okay. Atascha atmana. Sambandhokti is atascha atmana, not ekasya atmana. Tatah atra ekasya iti lekaka pramadat bhati. So anyway, whatever lekaka mudrika patha, some ekasya atmana is not the right patha because atascha atmana is seen in mula everywhere. Yadva, otherwise, if you have to give credit to, benefit of doubt to the tika, sangati, whoever has written it, meaning whoever has published it, not the tika itself, tika kara, whoever has Yadva ekasya atmana iti vina sandhim patitva pada puraniya. So without the sandhi, ekasya atmana, then what happens? Shlokartah yasmad atmana sakashat sahankaram idam vishwam kumbhavat agama payitaya siddhyati tad vishwam tataha keshondrakadivat swarupam na bhavati iti chandrikokta. So he is explaining something, how you can connect. But he has already said that lekaka pramadat bhavati ekasya atmana patha is not found. But anyway, sahankara, I don't know what is keshondrakadivat swarupa. So it is not like kesha. We'll take just kesha example. So kesha nakha ityadi are not part of the, they are not swarupa really. That's why you can, meaning in the sharir also, they are not chetana. So they are not chetana. So they are not swarupa really. So similarly, Vishwa is also like that. Entire prapancha, kumbhavat, comes and goes. So kesha nakha ityadi comes and goes. You cut them. So yeah, today it's mundana. So you cut them. Why not my swarupa? So here today, gone tomorrow. So here, yadva ekasya atmana iti vina sandhim patita. What do you do? Shlokartha. Yasmad atmana sakashat. Atmana is panchami. So atmana sakashat sankara vidam. So Vishwam. Entire Vishwa, including Ahankara, meaning Ahankara Adi Prapancha, Vishwa, is separate from Atma. And what is that Vishwa, Sahankara, Ahankara Adi Prapancha? It is what? Kumbhavad Agamapayi. Like Ghatapatadi comes and goes. Shadvikara, what? Similarly, this Sahankara, Vishwa is also what? Shadbhavikara, what? Thereby what? Tad Vishwam Swarupam na bhavati. Atma Swarupam na bhavati ityartha, like what? Kesha ityadi. So ekasya atmana, this is how you can connect. Now let's go at the Mula Patha, how it is. Atascha atmana bheda asamsparshaha. Atascha. So Atascha connects with the earlier shloka there, which has gone by, which said what? Atma is nirvisheshana. Atma khasya. Khasya iva nirvisheshana syat, cannot take any visheshana, and if there is no visheshana, atma is not visheshya, then there is no sambandha. There is no sambandha. So atascha atmana bheda asamsparshaha. Therefore, there is no sambandha with the bheda, meaning ahankaradi prapancha. With ahankara also, starting with tampada, because this tampada shodhana, ahankara, I don't have any sambandha with ahankaradi. Whether it is panchakosha, shariratraya, avastatraya, I have no sambandha. Then prapancha sambandha bahuduram. Putra mitrayadi, mata pitadi, pati patni ityadi, no sambandha. So Panchakosha Sambandha itself is not there. So whatever has come via Panchakosha, Sharira, that Sambandha cannot be there. Kuta na bhavati ityartha. Here, Ataha. Why? So Atascha Atmana Bheda Asamsparsha. There is no Sambandha of Atma with anything. There is no. Now, the second is real, you say. That is the Akshepa. Why? Bhedasya Mithya Swabhavyat. Siddhanti says we are not like Sankhyas that there is Asangatma and Prapancha which is real. Asangatma is real, Prapancha is real, Sambandha is Mithya. That itself is Muktikaraka, says Sankhya. Siddhanti says no. Prapancha, if it remains Satya, you understand. Inquire into it. Can there be moksha at all if there is a second entity, let alone plurality? Even if there is a second entity, that second entity is not you. If it is not you, you are not Purna. If I am not Purna, then Dukkha will be there. Apurnatva is Dukkha Karaka. I don't have this. I want this. I have something I don't want is one aspect. But more than that, what is it? See, I have something I want to give up. There are many ways to give up. But what I don't have and I want to be happy, happiness is superimposed on that Vishaya. There also there are many ways, but all are not possible for everyone and still never ending. So as long as something remains separate, there is a possibility of Ragadvesha. And even if you say no, there is no Ragadvesha, but still that entity limits you. And what is Sukha? Bhuma vai Sukham. Nalpe Sukham asti. In Alpatva there is no Sukha. Therefore, if the second entity remains Satya as me, I will always be segmented and Dukkha will never go. I'll always be a wanting person. Dukkha will never go. I can say, yes, in this Janma I have struggled a lot and then I have given up. So there is no moha, there is no Dukkha due to that. But who will take care of the karma which is separate from you and real? Karma will also be real then. Karma phala bhoga, I have to do. So even if I say, okay, I have no dukkha, but janma will be there, shadbha vikara will be there. And who guarantees that this particular frame of mind, this is all frame of mind, vichara siddha for me that I am free from all desires. That is how I will become a vairagi. What guarantees that this vairagi will continue in the next janma? Because antakarana is real. My vairagya may be real today, but that is not the sat that we are talking about. Sat is what? Trikala abaditam. Sat. What was not there yesterday and today it has come up, vairagya. Can the vairagi say that this vairagya of mine, lack of desires today, was always there? Cannot say. Therefore, bhutakale eva nasti. What will guarantee that in bhavishyat kala it will be there? No guarantee. So one has to be very protective of oneself in holding on to these, the dharmika gunas, vairagya ityadi. Sadhana chaturte sampatti, that's why it's a sampatti. Sampatti does not stay. Word is sampatti. Sampatti comes and goes. Sadhana chaturte sampatti can go. You have to be protective of that. That's why jnana rakshanartham, jnana comes, but jnana does not stay. Why? because ajnana nasha is not complete. Agantuka jnana, it will become paroksha. Aparoksha jnana will lead to swarupa sthiti. So, Jivan Muktikara Bhagavan Vidyanacharya says that jnana rakshana artham. For jnana rakshana, you have to keep on doing all of this. Amanitvam, adambitvam, ityadi, all these gunas you have to keep on protecting. So it is not nitya. Therefore, as long as there is a satyatva buddhi in the prapancha ahankaradi, it can come up anytime. Come up means sambandha can come up anytime because it is real. But in mithya, you cannot have any sambandha. Therefore, mulokti is what? Sambandhokti, bhedasya mithya swabhavyat. Bheda is mithya. How can satya have any sambandha with mithya? But how, before moksha it was there. How was it there then? Yes, with mithya there was sambandha. What sambandha? We have already said mithya, there was sambandha. What sambandha? Mithya sambandha. With mithya bheda, there was mithya sambandha. Not real. Therefore, it has never been there. It is now not there for a mukta and it can never come up. Why? It was never there in the first place. So, ataha avagatyatmano yasmad agamapai kumbhavat sahankaramidam vishwam tasmat tatsyat kachadivat. I'm sorry, kachadivat. Kachadi word is all very rare, as it is that autistic mind goes to known words. Kadachit appears as kadachit. 10 times you look at it, appears kadachit. It is kachadi. What is kachadi? I don't know the word kadachit. Has to be kadachit. Some may even, cross it and say it should be kadachit. What is kachadi? So anyway, kachadi is difficult here anyway. So avagati atmana, avagatyatmana, single word. Avagatyatmana, avagati rupa, swarupa atmana. Avagati paryantam jnanam is swarupa paryantam. Swarupa is always there. How can there be jnana till swarupa? So mishrana should go away. Ajnana nasha should be complete. And then what you remain, that is jnana swarupa atma. What remains in a sense? What remains? Amishrita, unmixed. That is what? Satyam jnanam anantam, that jnana atma. Therefore called as avagati atma. So avagati atmanah yasmat agamapayi kumbhavat sahankaram idam vishwam tasmat tat syat kachadivat. So this entire atma, anatma is what? Agamapayi. Like Kumbha comes and goes, Shadvikaravan. And along with ahankaradi prapancha. Entire Vishwam, idam Vishwam. So what is it? It is all different from Atma. But agamapayi, therefore mithya, not sat. So when you say agamapayi, then we say trikala abadita sat nasti. Therefore what? Mithya ityartha. Agamapayi means mithya ityartha. So atmanah avagati atmanah yasmad avagati atmanah agamapayi kumbhavat sahankaravidam vishwam bhavati. Separate from this. Vinna. Tasmat tat kachadivat syat. What is kachadi? So kacha is glass. Okay. Kaach also, or hair. Word here is what appears like a hair. With the kacha dosha, not kach, kacha is not kacha, but kacha dosha in the eye, it leads to some kind of a, where you can't see clearly. So everything looks, so basically what, like cataract. So it looks blocked. So it seems in some of these eye roga, chakshu roga, there is an appearance of, some kind of, the hair. So because there's something in the eye, always looks like there is some hair somewhere. So that is the roga. I mean, it is not part of the eye, but it is not part of the prapancha also that you are seeing, but it appears there. So basically what? Something that comes up with the kacha dosha or some chakshu dosha, that is called as this kacha. So kacha adivat, something like which is and upadhi, rogajanya. So that is the idea. Tasmat tat kachadivat syat. Agamapai is always kachadivat, meaning if you separate the defect, here what is the dosha? Ajnana dosha. So here ajnana dosha, and thereby, uh, thereby what? It can be taken away. When ajnana is taken away, then rest of these things also go away. Karya ajnana. Similarly, when in the example chakshu dosha is set right, then the kachadi goes away. Similarly, when ajnana dosha is removed by jnana aushadha, then the karya, all of this ahankara, the prapancha, goes away. So it is basically what? It is mithya. So mithyatva is being established here. Ahankara is sahankara, and atmanaha, I'm just thinking if anything else is given here. Avagatyatmanaha yasmat. Atmanaha yasmat. Bhavati. Bhavati. Tasmat. Kachadi. Atmana. Just thinking of this. So, Sahankara. So we can, Panchami is a little tricky to read. Shashti also, how it is connecting. So Sambandha, we'll say, Bheda Asamsparsha is being explained. Therefore, any Anvaya wise, it is not making complete sense. I'm seeing what we can add or. So, Atascha Atmana Bheda Asamsparsha. So we can take that connection here. Avagatyatmanaha Bheda Asamsparsha. Atascha has been established. Bhedasya Mithyatva Swabhavya. Therefore, he says. So what is the idea? Bheda Asamsparsha we have to reuse here. So Atmanaha Avagatyatmana Bheda Asamsparsha. That is the siddhi. That is what is established in the shloka. So we say Yasmat Sahankaram idam Vishwam Kumbhavat Agamapayi Bhavati Tasmat Tat Kachadivat Syat. And then you say Avagatyatmana Ataha Avagatyatmana Veda Samsparsha. Ataschatmana. What has been mentioned? So Avagatyatmana Veda Samsparsha. This is one way to do Anvaya. Or we can say all of this that you see has sambandha without using Veda Samsparsha. We can say Yasmad Agamapayi. You see Sambandhe Shashti. So you see like Dashratasya Rama Putra eva. Dashratasya Putra. Dashratasya Rama. So someone can say Dashratasya Rama. Esha. Esha Rama Dashratasya. So if you're talking about Rama, is it Balrama or which Rama are you talking about? Sitapati Rama. So it's Dashratasya Rama. So we can use that Putra ityartha. Dashratasya Putra only, but that Putra word may not be there. When you are in context. Are you talking about that Rama or this Rama? So you say this Rama, Dashratasya Rama. So here, Avagatyatmana, that way Sambandha Shashti. So all of this that you see, Ahankara, Sahankara, Idam Vishwam, that Atmana, Sambadha ityartha. Atmana Sambadha, if you say. So Sambadha, what you add? Samsprushta, Yasmad. But Agamapayi, Kumbhavat Agamapayi, all this Sahankara Idam Vishwam, for Atma, what is it like? It is like Kumbha. So you can say that. For Atma, Avagatyatma, for Avagatyatma, Sahankara Idam Vishwam, how is it? Like Kumbha. Agamapai like Kumbha. Ahankara also comes and goes from the perspective of Atma, for Atma. Therefore, Tat Sarvam Vishwam Kachadivat Syat. This is the Anvaya without using the Veda Samsparsha. Otherwise, the idea is not clear how that Shashti has connection. Yeah. So you can say for Atma, entire Prapancha, including Ahankara, is like Kumbha. Agamapai like Kumbha. Therefore, it is like Kachadi. It is Ajnana Janya. It is like Roga. It can go away. This is the idea. Mithya ityartha. It is not Swarupa. Swarupena Sat Nasti. Sahankaram idam Vishwam Kumbhavat Sat Nasti. Kuta Kachadivat. Why? Agamapayitvena hetuna. This is the idea. So 95th verse is done. 96th verse says, there is an introduction. तर्हि आत्मनः अन्वय व्यतिरेक लक्षण अनुमान प्रमाण अधीन सिद्धिकत्वात् स्वयं प्रकाशत्व अभ्युपगमः भज्येत इत्याह सर्वस्य एव इति. So now another akshepa. Purvapakshi says, "Oh, is that right? How have you understood this? You say this is all like Kachadi because it is Agama Pai. So all this is Tarka, right? It is Anumana. What Anumana have you used? Earlier also, what did you say? Ananvayat, Tad Ananvayat. So what is that Ananvayat? There is no Anvaya. Means you have used Anvaya Vyatireka. You can use the word Tadananvayat without saying Anvaya Vyatireka, but I understood. He says you have used Tarka. Have you not used Anumana? You have used Anumana. So Purva Pakshi says Tari Atmanaha Anvaya Vyatireka Lakshana Anumana Pramana Adhina Siddhikatva. Because now you have established Atma, although we have not established Atma in this manner, but Purva Pakshi with 195 verses also still continuing with his objection. So he says, you have used Tarka. Siddhanti has clearly said, we have shown how Sankhya sees it. We have used Tarka also. But having done all of that, we are showing Shruti Pramana. That is lost on him because he considers Vedanti also like other Darshanikas. Jaundiced eye sees the world yellow. So he is jaundiced with Tarka. He says, you have also used Tarka. Now this Atma that you talk about, Sangha Atma, that is Tarka Siddha, isn't it? Because you have shown Anvaya Vyatireka, none of these continue to Atma. Atma is separate from all of this. You have established all right, but you have used Tarka. Tarhi Atmanaha, what? Siddhikatvam. Atmana Siddhikatvam. Kasmat Bhavati. He says it is Adhina. Kim Adhina? What does Kasya Adhina? Kasya Adhina this Atmana Siddhi. Siddhikatvam is a Atmana Siddhi. Atma Siddhi is based on what now as per your process that I understand says the Purva Pakshi. It is based on Adhina or Pramana. Siddhanti says, of course, I talk nothing without Pramana. So he says, no, but it is Anumana Pramana. Not Shabda Pramana, he says Anumana Pramana. So he says, what kind of Anumana Pramana? Where have I used Anumana? So he says, Anvaya Vyatireka Lakshana Anumana. It is characterized by Anvaya and Vyatireka. I have seen that. You have used Tadananvayat. Then here also Atmanaha, all this that you say, Kachadivat, all that Vat and all that is what? Panchami Hetu example. All this is Tarka, I know. He says, therefore what? Swayam Prakashatva Abhyogama Bhajyeta. All that you have been establishing, trying to say, in the end, what are you trying to say? Atma is Swayam Prakasha. You have used that word also. So he says that is not proven because Atma is proven with the Tarka. So what is proven with Tarka has Tarka basis, not Swayam Prakashatva. It is not self-shining. It is made to shine, forced to shine using some kind of Tarka. Just like, Bheda is also shown in this manner by somebody else. The Jnana being Atma Dharma also, they show by Tarka. Ishvara Siddhi also by Tarka, Tarkika show. So your Atma Siddhi is also based on Tarka. What is the difference? How do you claim it is Swayam Prakasha Atma? It is not Swayam Prakasha Atma at all. So Swayam Prakashatva Abhyupagam. This Swayam Prakasha should be a single word, okay? There should be a hyphen there. Swayam Prakashatva Abhyupagama Kasya Atmanaha Bhajyeta. Now that is compromised. Your Swayam Prakashatva acceptance is compromised in Darshana because you use Tarka to prove this kind of Atma. If it is Swayam Prakasha, it should stand out on its own. Why do you need Tarka to prove that? This is the question. Ityataha sarvasyeva iti. Thereby, Sambandhoktikara says, Sarvasyeva anumana vyaparasya phalam iyadeva. He says, we have used Tarka. Yes. What is the Tarka? Anvaya Vyatireka. Yes, we have used. Panchami Hetu we have used. We have used what? Iva examples we have used. And we have extended to the exemplified Atma. Khasya iva, like the Akasha. So all that Anumana Vyapara leads to what? There is one phala. What is the phala? Yadeva, this much. What is that? Yad Viveka Grahanam. Says the Viveka between Atma and Anatma, for this Tarka is needed. This is the phala. There is nothing more than that. You can do Viveka. Yes, Visheshanas do not continue to Atma. Atma is not Visheshya. Therefore, Atma is Nirvisheshana. With Tarka, this much is the phala. This is the only phala. Atma is not proved with that. Atma is, what kind of Atma we are talking about? Atma is Swayam Prakasha. But what kind of Atma? The Visheshana Vat Atma, the Manushya Atma, Prani Atma, Pakshi Atma, Atma, Stri Atma, none of that is established on its own. Swayam Prakashatvam Nasti Tatra. You only know that you exist. Don't you know that you exist? To use the Tarka Pramana also, you have to know that you exist. Without existing, you cannot use Tarka. Pratyaksha itself is not possible without saying, knowing that I exist. So Satta Bhana, that Sat and Jnana, or Satyam, Jnanam, or Satta and Chaitanya. That is Swayam Prakasha. What is not Swayam Prakasha is all of this Manushyatvam, Pumtvam, Stritvam, Ityadi, all of that comes as an entire baggage. Sankaram, Antva, Mamatva, all of these are not Swayam Prakasha. Yes, you think they are Pratyaksha to you, but they are not Swayam Prakasha. To take away all of those, Neti Neti Prakriya, you need Tarka. So Tarka gives you Viveka. For Viveka, you need Tarka. This is this, that is that. There is no Mishrana there. That is all we are doing with Iyadeva Phalam. Yet, what is that? Viveka Granam. Do you understand the difference between the two? That is all that we are intending to do with Tarka. In Tatpada Shodhana, you need this. In Tvam Pada Shodhana also, Tvam Pada Shodhana here, you need this Viveka. For this Viveka, you need Tarka, Manana, Taduchyate. Beyond that, Atma is not being proven. So you are saying Atmana Swayam Prakashatva Abhyoma Bhajyeta. How? Atma is Swayam Prakasha. What kind of Atma? There is a that for that we have established using Tarka. And that also has basis in Shruti. Taduchyate. Thereby Shloka 96 says, Buddher Anatma Dharmatvam Anumanat Prasidhyati Atmanopyadvitiyatvam Atmatvadev Siddhyati. Buddhehe Anatmadharvatvam Anumanat Prasidhyati Atmanaha Api Advitiyatvam Atmatvad Eva Siddhyati. He says we have not established Atma using Tarka at all. Siddhanti says go back to school, go back to basics. You see what Tarka, you don't understand the Sadhya. What Tarkika are you? You should know what is the, what is Parvatasthaniya, Paksha. You should know what is the Hetu Dhumasthaniya. And you cannot miss Vannisthaniya Sadhya. Vanni is Sadhya. Here Atma is not Sadhya. What kind of Atma? That is Advitiya Atma is Sadhya. Not Atma. Atmatvam is not Sadhya. Atmanaha Advitiyatvam Sadhyam. Atma is Ekameva Advitiya. That is Sadhya. Atma is not Sadhya. Atma cannot be proven by anything. Atma is you. One who is using the Tarka is Atma. One who is objecting is Atma. Without Atma, all of this is not possible to use Pratyaksha. So how many times should we tell you that without Atma, no Vyavahara is possible? Satta Spurti of anything and everything, including your Vyapara, Tarka here, debate also. For that also you need Atma. That is the Atma which is Swatah Siddha. Beyond that, what is there? To remove that, what kind of Atma? Or who is the Prapancha Karta? Whether the Prapancha is real or not, whether Ahankara is real, whether Ahankara Dharmas are Atma Dharma or Ahankara Dharmas. What appears, is it true or not? All this Viveka needs Tarka. So, बुद्धेः आत्मधर्मत्वं अनात्म आत्मधर्मत्वं वा अनात्मधर्मत्वं वा बुद्धि अहंकार is it atmadharma or anatmadharma? How will you understand? Shruti says that it is not atmadharma, it is anatmadharma, but you don't understand, so I have to use tarka. So he says to do viveka, I have to use tarka. So buddhehe anatmadharmatvam anumanat prasiddhyati. Prakarshana siddhyati in such a manner that you understand. Even you understand. I understand, you also understand. How for me Shruti would have been enough, but sometimes I also have this question. So I use tarka for viveka. So using anumana, what is established is buddhi, ahankaradi are not atmadharma at all. That mamaham janami, where you get confused and you say that mam is also atma, aham is also atma. Therefore, atma is subject as well as object. To not land you in that kind of a ridiculous conclusion, it's kartur karma virodha. We have to use tarka. That is where we started. And please understand, Siddhanti says, where we started is not to prove Atma. Neither was it my sankalpa pratijna, nor was it yours. The question was whether ahankara is Atma dharma or not. Prapancha is separate from Atma or not. Whether prapancha exists separate from Atma or not. Whether it is real or not. All these questions we are dealing with, but nobody made a pratijna that I will prove Atma. Atma is not the sadhya at all, has never been. Right from first sloka, it has not been. Atma is there. That's why I want moksha. I am baddha. All these difficulties are for whom? Dukkha. You think dukkha is there. Sukha should be there. For whom? For that Atma which is swatasiddha. So dukkhittvam nasti. Dukkha is not Atma dharma. It is buddhi dharma, antakarana dharma. This is our process. And suddenly you, after all this, whose husband was Sita, whose wife was Rama, all these kind of questions you are asking after entire Ramayana. Says this is not our sadhya at all. Yeah, whose husband was Sita? Somebody asked that. Bhagavati. So here, buddhehe anatma dharmatvam anumanat prasiddhyati. Na to atma. Atma anumanat na prasiddhyati. Atmanah api advitiyatvam. Now, what is this sadhya advitiyam? Advitiyatvam. He says that also really we are not establishing. With Anumana, we are taking away Dvaita. So Dvaita being taken away, that is the sadhya. Advitiyam is what? Dvaita abhava. So Dvaita, if I show each and every buddhyadi Dvaita Bheda as what? Anatma dharma, then what remains as Atma is Advitiya only. If I show Anatma dharma and I show Mithya, all of them as Mithya, then what remains is Atma, which is Advitiya Atma. So Advitiya Atma does not need proof really. There also is Atmana api Advitiyatvam Atmattvadeva siddhyati. Swatah siddhyati ityartha. Swatah pramana. Swatah prakashatvam. That you are objecting to, that Atma, Swayam Prakasha Atma will always be there. It has been there, it is there, it will be there. What you are doing with others to show Mithyatva by Neti, using Tarka, Shruti Pramana ityadi. Shruti is also not proving Atma. Shruti also works to the Atma who is existent. So it is a Siddha Vastu. It is not Sadhya also. Atma is not Sadhya. Atma's existence is not Sadhya. Atma's Advitiyatvam is also Swayameva. Atmatvadeva Siddhyati. Because Atma is there, it is there. So what are we saying? All we are saying, we are not using any Anumana. Why is Atma there? How is Atma proven? It is there. No proof needed. How do you know it is there? All these questions are not needed at all. The questioner is there. The question comes up, the questioner is there. That's where the question comes up. Then the answer to that question cannot be you are there. There is no proof needed. He is there. He is asking the question. So Atma is there. Nobody has even started on this journey to prove Atma. We are not Shunya. We are not talking to Shunyavadis who also asking questions. They are there. One who is there is asking the question, not an unexistent. Therefore, Atma is not proven. Atma's Advitiyatva is proven due to Atma itself. When everything goes away, what remains is Atma. So there is no no Anvaya needed here in the Anvaya order itself. So this is the introduction to the 96th verse was done. There in Tika, is there something left? Atmatvad meaning what? Atmatvad. What do you mean? Atmatvadev Atmanah api advitiyatvam siddhyati. Siddhanti says Atmatvad means what? Atmanah swabhava balat. Swata eva iti yavat. Swata eva siddhyati. Atmatvad means swata eva. It is there. I am there. I, everywhere. I. Let me ask you a question. Let me make an akshep. I ask you this. You tell me this. If you say I is sitting there, when you comes in, that you is contrasted to the I is sitting there. How do you say that Atma has to be proven with Anumana? Atma is not proven with Anumana. It is not Anvaya Vyatirika or any Adhina. It is Swatasiddha Swayam Prakasha Atma iti avat. Further in the 97th verse, there is a long Sangati in the Tika. Sankhyaadayaha buddhyadi vyatiriktam atmanam asamsarinam abhyupagamya buddhyadinam pradhana karyatvena tadashrayatvam satyatvam cha abhyupagachanti. Again on the trying to put the Siddhanti on the back foot, he says, but Sankhyas talk about this. Siddhanti is saying mithya, mithya, mithya. Agamapai, but Agamapai mithya, Agamapai let it be, but Sat. Real things come and go. They are real money. Real money comes and real money goes. That's why dukkha. Real person is there. Real friends, real relatives, they come and go. They pass away, therefore dukkha. When they come in, new real relative is born, so happiness. New family member. So all these Agamapai can be Satya also. Why should it be Mithya? With this idea, Purvapakshiyas Sankhyaadayaha Buddhyadi Vyatiriktam Atmanam Asamsarinam Asanga Atma Asamsari Atma. They also accept. What kind of Atma? Buddhyadi Vyatirikta. So you are also saying that. You are saying, what did you say? You said Buddhehe Anatma Dharmatvam. Anatma means not Atma. Atma Anya. So if Atma Anya is all this, Buddhyadi, so Sankhyaadaya Buddhyadi Vyatiriktam, Atma Anya, Atma Vyatirikta. Buddhyadi Vyatirikta is Atma, Atma Vyatirikta. You say Atma Vyatirikta all this, they say Buddhyadi Vyatirikta Atma, fine. Asamsari, fine. But Abhyupagamya, having accepted what those Sankhyas do, Sankhyaadi, others also yogis, others also. Buddhyadinam pradhana karyatvena, but Buddhyadi, which is separate from Atma, Atma is separate from Buddhyadi. Buddhyadi, Ahankaradi is what? It is pradhana karya. Pradhana prakriti, Mula prakriti. They are all Mula prakriti karya. We have never accepted it. Sankhyas have accepted it. Siddhanti says no. Thereby Purvapakshi says, but Sankhyas do say Pradhana Karya. And Pradhana is real second entity, separate from Purusha. And then Buddhyadinam Pradhana Karyatvena Tadashrayatvam Satyatvam cha Abhyupagachanti. They say Buddhi is dependent on what? Pradhana. Because Karya is dependent on Karana. And Satya also, Buddhi is Satya because Pradhana is Satya. Pradhana is real second entity. Buddhyadi, they are third, fourth, fifth. So there are 25 entities talked about there in the Srishti Prakriya. Some are what? Some are Prakriti, some are Vikriti, some are Prakriti Vikriti in between. Meaning some are pure Karana, some are pure Karya, some are Karana and Karya. Karana for what follows, Karya of what precedes. Thereby Buddhyadi are all Pradhana Karya, they are Satya. And they have Ashraya in Pradhana. Tadashrayatvam means Pradhana Ashrayatvam Buddhyadinam. And Satyatvam cha Buddhyadinam Abhyupagachanti. Sankhyaadaya Abhyupagachanti. They accept this in their darshanas. respective darshanas. Tatha na asmat siddhanta se siddhanti. Tatha na asmat siddhanta. How are we different from them? How so? You say, Kintu sadasadbhyam anirvachaniya anadi avidya vijrumbhitataya तदाश्रया बुद्ध्यादयः प्रत्यगात्मनि परिकल्पिताः इति इमम् अर्थम् आह यद्यपीति. But what is our siddhanta? Our siddhanta is pradhanadi that you talk about. We say maya adi, prakriti adi. That prakriti is not independent. Prakriti maya is brahma adina, atma adina. Satta spurti of this second entity and everything that follows after the second, third, fourth, ityadi 25, and the entire prapancha, that bhautika prapancha that comes out of that is all what? Brahmadhina, Brahmatmadhina. So is it real? No. Is it unreal then? No. Satchet na vadhyeta, asatchet na pratiyeta. 100 times we will repeat the same thing till you understand. Siddhanti says, even the Purva Pakshis should understand. We have no dvesha with you. You also should get moksha. You understand this. He says, sad bhinna, asad bhinna, sadasad bhinna, that kind of anirvachaniya which cannot be categorized. No, you tell me whether it is sat. No, it is not sat. Then it has to be asat. This has to be is a problem. There is nothing called it has to be. How much do we know? In this prapancha, if it is not this, then it is that. There is nothing like that. The prapancha is not digital, it is analog. There are so many gradations. How can you say, it has to be this? There is the entire prapancha is in a gray shade. It is not black and white. So Siddhanti says, if it is not sat, it is asat, is not agreeable. If it is not asat, it has to be sat, not agreeable. Sadasat bhinna. What is not there but appears to be. It is not like Vandhyaputra, Shashashrunga. It is not Sat like Brahma, which never goes away. I exist all the time. It is Sadasad Bhinna. So Sadasadbhyam Anirvachaniya. Sadasadbhyam Anirvachani means what? That which cannot be categorized as only as Sat, only as Asat. It cannot be. It cannot be. Then only means what? It can be both. No, it cannot be said to be both. So what cannot be categorized? Idam ittham sat, idam asat. You cannot do that. That kind of anirvachaniya, anadi, and it has always been there. It has not that come up. Anadi, avidya, vijrumbhita, vijrumbhitataya. As what? Set up by avidya. We are taken for a ride by avidya. How? Tadashraya. It is having basis in that very ajnana, avidya. Avidyashraya buddhyadeha. The buddhyadi are avidya karya. You say pradhana karya which is independent and sat. No. Something like pradhana will say, which is dependent on Brahma. And set up by that is buddhyadi. Yes, karya you say, but karyatvena pratita. All of these are what? Buddhyadayah pratyagatmani parikalpitaha iti imam artham aha. They are all parikalpita, they are all imagined. Imagined an atma. Ekameva advitiya atma. They are not there. Swapnavat. How is it possible? Swapnavat. This is the only example that we can give, which is exact. Swapna, you sleep alone, but you dream the entire prapancha. Who imagines this? You imagine it. No, I don't dream. Really? You don't remember your dreams. Do you daydream? Yes, I daydream. Then that is the example. Now you are daydreaming. That is the example. That is exemplified also. So, iti imam artham aha yadyapi iti. Thereby, sambandhoktikara. Long sentence. We'll just flip the page and see. We'll revisit it in the next part. Yadyapi aham grahitru grahana grahya grihiti tatphalatmakah Brahma stamba paryanta samsara. This much we'll see. What is this samsara? Ayam samsara. Pratyaksha. Ayam means what? Pratyaksha samsara. Buddhyadi, ahankaradi. What is this? He says, Grahitru, Grahana, Grahya. So Grahitru is Pramata. Pramata, Grahana is Pramana, and Grahya is what? Prameya. So Triputi. Then there is a Grihiti sitting there. So you say Prama. Kriya, Phala is Prama. So, and then Tat Phalatmaka. What happens with this Pramana where Prama comes and then what is the resultant there? All of this is what? Abrahma Stamba Paryanta Samsara. Without the Triputi, how will you know Samsara? Abrahma Stamba Paryanta. Samsara is known with this Triputi and Kriya Prama Utpanna. Thereby you know. Tad Utpanna. Tajanya Prama also. So this Pramata connected with Prameya through Pramana gives rise to Prama, and then this Prapancha comes to life. Brahma Stamba Paryanta. This is what the samsara is, right? Says the Siddhanti. Yadyapi, even so, and how? Anvay Vyatireka Anatmataya Nirmalyavat Apaviddaha. He says Anvay Vyatireka. We use Anvay Vyatireka, yes. To do what? To show Viveka. And Anvay Vyatireka Anatmataya. We say Atma Anatma Viveka is by Anvay Vyatireka Anumana and thereby Apaviddaha Tyakta. Tena Tyaktena Hunjita says Ishavasya Upanishad. Ishavasya Midam Sarvam. Everything is appearance of Paramatma, Mithya. Then you give it up cognitively. How? Nirmalyavat. What is Nirmalya? Nirmalya is when you offer flowers to Bhagavan, mala, flowers, etc. Then after a while, you take it away. It is given away as prasada also. But Nissara, you keep it for a long time, they'll dry away or they'll get rotten. So what was giving Sugandha will start giving Durgandha. Before that, it is used as prasada and given to others, so Nirmalya. But here Nirmalya is prasada. Nirmalya also is taken by others as prasad. But here that is not the meaning. Apavedda, Tyakta. Therefore, for that, the Tippana says Nirmalyavat means what? Gatasara vastuvat iti bhava. Like some vastu from which Sara has gone. There is no essence left. So, people keep their the flowers. Sugandha is not there. In fact, here, Swamiji here, he brings flowers, some rare flowers, especially during Shivratri. They are all, lying around. They are hanging on, curtain rods and all that. Or they are still there. There is no Sugandha there. But they are very rare. In higher Himalayas, you get that. Forget the name also. All, very rare names are also like that. So whenever he brings it, he says, let them be there. But they are all Nirmalya really. But Brahma Kamal. Brahma Kamal, not the Brahma Kamal that comes up at night. This is Brahma Kamal, yeah. Brahma Kamal and there is some other Kamal. So, very rare. Maybe here also somewhere. I don't. Yeah, it's there on top there somewhere. So, there is Brahma Kamal. I don't know whether it's visible. There is on the window pane. You see something there? Top window pane. So, top window pane there. So, that is Brahma Kamal. So, Nirmalyavat. So, it is there. So, here he says, what? Yadyapi ayam, all that is. So, samsara anvaya vyatireka anatmataya nirmalivad apavidya tathapi, still what? Tathapi tu na eva asau swatas siddha atma vyatirikta anatma prakriti pradartha vyapashraya. Not very long samasa yet. There is another samasa coming up which goes across the page. So, swatas siddha atma vyatirikta anatma prakriti padartha vyapashraya. Vyapashraya means dependent on that. Na eva so. Tathapi tu na eva so swatas siddha. The samsara is tyakta like nirmalya. But it is not swatas siddha, meaning Sankhyas say that this prapanch pradhanadi is separate from Atma. And there is no Atma Sambandha because Atma is Asanga. Fine. We also say that because Shruti says that, not because Sankhya say it. However, for them it is what? It is existent. How is it existent? Samsara is not Swatah Siddha. You need to be there to see samsara being there. So Siddhanti says, na eva asau samsaraha swatah siddha. Even if it is established as anatma, separate from atma, that is not swatah siddha. Atma is swatah siddha. Second is not swatah siddha at all. Second entity needs pratyakshadi pramana. I need my indriyas to know something is there. One of the five indriyas. For kalpita vastu also I need what? I need my antakarana to be there, not swatah siddha. Prapancha does not come to you and say that it is there. You need some indriya, some pramana. With anumana you have to say fire is there. Fire is not visible also. Anumana is needed. So for everything you need some other pramana, not swatah siddha. Samsara is not swatah siddha. Swatah siddha atma is swatah siddha. And swatah siddha atma vyatirikta anatma, it is prakriti padartha vyapashraya. It is what? Anatma prakriti. Anatma prakriti padartha vyapashraya. It has dependency on what? Atma only. Swatah siddha atma vyatirikta, but anatma prakriti means what? It is dependent on maya. Avidya karya, avidya, dependent on avidya. Avidya has to be there. That avidya in turn is brahmashraya. But what about Sankhyas? They, for them, swatah siddha atma vyatirikta anatma prakriti padartha vipashe. Prakriti here you have to read pradhana for Sankhya's. For Siddhanti, prakriti means what? It is dependent on prakriti, which is dependent on Brahma. But they don't have prakriti dependent on Brahma. Their prakriti, Mula prakriti is independent. Na eva, so swatah siddha atma. So swatah siddha is atma. For Sankhya, swatah siddha atma and vyatirikta anatma prakriti is also swatah siddha. So this samasa goes that way also. Swatah siddha anatma, swatah siddha atma vyatirikta anatma. So samasa is what? Swatah siddha atma also and swatah siddha atma vyatirikta anatma also. Swatah siddha anatma also. What is that? Prakriti. Prakriti pradhana padartha vyapashraya na. Siddhanti says na tatha. Sankhyanam eva. Like Sankhya's. For us, swatah siddha goes only with atma. Vyatirikta anatma prakriti padashraya or vyapashraya also not. We say brahmashraya. Everything is dependent on brahma satta. Avidya karya, all right. So avidya dependency is there. Otherwise, prapancha won't come up as kalpita also. Kim thari, we look at the next bhata because I thought because there's a long samasa, I have to take a little time there. So we'll see it in the next part here with Kim thari. What about then? What is it like? Na swatah siddha, na swatah siddha samsara. In short, what? Naeva asau samsara swatah siddha sankhyanam eva. It is not swatah siddha like Sankhya's. It is not dependent on that which is swatah siddha also. It is not swatah siddha like Atma and dependent on that also, which is swatah siddha like Atma. So none of those combinations will work. Atma alone is swatah siddha. Kim tari, we'll see that in the next part. Yat sakshat satchitanandam pratyagadvema priyam tannamami rusyasya yogi gamyam param padam. Namaste. Dhanyavada.
Namaste, Swamiji, for the beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Namaste. So have a good study and what? Shubham bhuyat. What else? So continue to study in Sampradaya with whoever and daily reads few vakyas here and there. Bhashya vakyas. If you can do Tika, all the more better. But Bhashya, preferably do Gita Bhashya. It is easier and daily you read it. Okay.
So
I'll see you again in the next part.
Today I can ask you one question.
Yes, Amma.
We will start with R3, right? So
Sorry, one at a time.
My question is, you said that Atma is not the sadhya, sadhya vastu. But isn't it we say that prapyasya prapti?
Praptasya prapti. Prapta means what? Siddha, right?
Yeah.
Atma is not attained. The attainer is the Atma. How can you say the attainer is going to attain the same? You can't. So praptasya prapti is praptasya kasya mokshasya. Atma is not moksha. Atma is not moksha, right? Atma attains moksha. So there, for moksha we say it is praptasya prapti, not Atma. Right? If you say Paramatma, yes, okay. Atma will attain Paramatma, then praptasya prapti. Paramatma is already attained as Swarupa. There you can say that. But still it is not sadhya. Sadhya iva. Praptasya prapti is what? Jnanena means what? Ajnana nashena. So what does it mean? It means it is already there. Already there it means siddha vastu. It is not sadhya. Atma can never become sadhya. It can appear to be sadhya in the form of Paramatma. Nobody says, see, I want to attain myself, right?
No.
One can say, I want to know myself. Nobody says, I want to attain myself. One can say, I want to attain God. I want to attain Paramatma. So there a Bheda Buddhi is there, but nobody says, Atma, I want to attain myself. Nobody uses that word. So I want to attain moksha, I want to attain Paramatma. Such words will be there. I want to know myself is there, but there is no I want to attain myself. Nobody says that. So Atma is Siddha Vastu. We are proving that Atma is Swatah Siddha Vastu. Without that, nothing will work. Paramatma need not be Swatah Siddha. For that, Anumana may be needed. Shastra Pramana may be needed. Paramatma at what is his Swarupa. For all that you need some other Pramana. Atma does not need even Shabda Pramana. Atma is not proven with Shabda Pramana. Atma's Advitiyatvam is proven by Shabda Pramana, and that also not by saying, see, this is one without a second. That statement takes away everything else that is there as real. It takes away the Satyatva Buddhi. So Mithyatva with Neti Prakriya, you know everything else is not there, and what remains is, how will you say?
Yeah.
What remains is I, which is already there, has been there. The second entity, second onwards, has been taken away. If every entity other than me is taken away, then Advitiya Atma, which was Satah Siddha, is now Advitiya is also Satah Siddha only. For second, you need proof. For one, you don't need proof. One is already there. I am there. I need proof. See, even if when the government may ask you, prove who you are, does not say prove that you exist. All Aadhaar card, ityadi, all cards are for what? To prove who am I, not to prove I am there. Yeah, if you go and say that, okay, Aadhaar card is not there, they look up the database, we don't have such a person. No, still the government official will not say you are not there. He's looking at you. He can't say you are not there. He'll say, I don't have record of you. There is no record of such a person being there, but you cannot deny. I remember there was some old comedy, that office or something. I think there was a very nice comedy. So he goes to the government office, he says, you are not there. He says, I don't have data. But nobody does that. It is a comic. Nobody can prove it. He says, I am there. He says, you are not there because the record is not there. So you are not there. So that is the idea. Atma praptasya prapti paramatmana mokshasya. Na tu atmana swatam mama eva. Nobody says that, right? Anything else?
Thank you.
Was there, I think, somebody said something else. Somebody else had a question or something else. Okay. Namaste. Dhanyavada.